Hi everyone, I'm Pat Prokop, retired meteorologist, and today is Sunday, June the 18th. A lot of people have been asking me about that tropical system developing in the far eastern Atlantic Ocean. Will it become a tropical depression, tropical storm, or even a hurricane? And if so, will it affect us? Also, I'm more concerned about the weather pattern that is developing across the southeast United States for all of this week, and that could be very wet weather conditions. By the end of the week, we could be ending up with several inches of rain falling across our region. But with that being said, let's take a look at the satellite imagery of the far eastern Atlantic. There it is out there. Let me pull it over so you can see it a little bit better. And there's the system right over here, and it continues to move off toward the west-northwest at a very slow rate of speed. And the conditions in this portion of the Atlantic Ocean is somewhat conducive for additional development. Now, the question is, where will it go from there? And let's take a look at the information from the National Hurricane Center. There they have the system in the Atlantic Ocean, and the forecast trend for that system is to have it moving off to the west-northwest as it approaches the Lesser Antilles Islands. Now, where it goes from there, that's a good question, but the computer model, the general forecast system, has that system developing and then sliding off toward the west and then turning more toward the north as it approaches the Windward Islands, staying well out to sea and affecting really no major land sources as it dissipates far to the North Atlantic. However, other computer models aren't so generous with turning it to the north. The ECMWF, the European Center for Medium Range Weather Forecasting, has the system, there it is down here, you can see it right there, has the system moving to the west but staying a little bit further to the south and moving in toward the Lesser Antilles Islands, but then it encounters wind shear, and as it approaches the Windward Islands and crosses into the Caribbean Sea, it's basically eaten alive by the wind shear. So, and usually this time of the year, you still have pretty good southwest winds blowing across the Caribbean Sea, and usually in the tropical Atlantic Ocean. And usually you don't see storms forming off the coast of Africa in the month of June, and even in the month of July. By August or September, though, that will change quite a bit depending on how the El Nino out in the Pacific Ocean affects the upper level winds. Right now, we expect those upper level winds to be continuing across the tropical Atlantic Ocean, so that should help keep storms at bay across that region. But anyway, let's look at the forecast model. This is what's the upper level winds, and there you can see at the time when that storm moves into the Caribbean Sea over here, this is wind shear, and it's very strong. No tropical storm has a chance of surviving through this type of wind shear. That would basically, as I said earlier, eat that storm alive. But let's get back to reality over here in the southeast United States and see what's going on. And the forecast patterns for this week shows a lot of moisture developing and moving across our region. There you can see going into Monday and Tuesday. That's Monday night, Tuesday morning over here. Tuesday, another day of rain across our area. Wednesday, another day of rain. This is sunset on Wednesday. Considerable amounts of rain. Going into Thursday, yep, more rain. Look at here. Down to the south, there's a system developing in the Caribbean Sea that's moving across the portions of western Cuba. That's going to bring in some tropical moisture across the area, and that pushes it northward into our area. Now, this computer model, the GFS, has it developing into some sort of a subtropical system, but we know that this model has a tendency to be biased toward that. So, again, take this with a grain of salt as tropical, but it will be pushing in some moisture across our region, which will be enhancing the chances for rain across our area. Here we are Saturday afternoon, more rain falling across the region. How much rain? Well, taking a look over here, we can see by sunrise on Sunday, 3 to 5 inches of rain, quite possible across a large portion of Georgia and South Carolina, and of course a large portion of Florida associated with this system with the rains coming on in. I want to show you some other maps over here. Here we have the severe weather risk for our area. For on Sunday, there's an enhanced chance for showers and thunderstorms across the lower Mississippi Valley into southwest portions of Alabama. Not so much for our area here. But for the next day, Monday, there we have a increased chance for showers and thunderstorms across our area. As we look at it right over here, there you can see a slight chance for severe thunderstorms on Monday. And then by Tuesday, just expecting moderate to heavy rains to fall across our area. Speaking of that, how much rain? Well, on Sunday, there is a risk for heavy rains of 2 to 3 inches across a large portion of the lower and middle Mississippi River Valley into Alabama. And then as we go into Monday, we have that risk of some moderate to heavy rains moving across our area of 2 to 3 inch rainfalls, perhaps falling across our area. And then as we go into Wednesday or Tuesday, this is Tuesday over here, we still have a risk for some moderate to heavy rains across the region. So we're going to keep an eye on that for you right now. Also, I want to show you something else in the tropics. This is the map of the sea surface temperatures. There you can see the water temperatures. These are degrees Celsius, and the storm system right now is right in this location here where the water temperature is about 80 degrees. 27 degrees Celsius is about 80 degrees Fahrenheit. And as it goes further toward the west, those water temperatures warm into the low to middle 80s. So plenty of fuel to work with. And if it gets into the Caribbean Sea and the Gulf of Mexico, an enormous amount of fuel to work with. And talking about that, looking at the sea surface temperatures once again, these are what's called the anomalies. The difference from normal and the conditions over the last several years. And the tropical Atlantic Ocean is about 2 to 3 degrees Fahrenheit above normal temperature-wise. So the water is warmer than usual. It's a little bit cooler off the coast of the southeast United States and the Gulf of Mexico. The reason behind that is from all that rain we've been getting across our region. And that is, the water from the rivers is flowing back into the ocean, and that's cooling off the shelf waters over here. But as the summer progresses, these waters will warm up. But there's a lot of potential out in the Atlantic Ocean for tropical storms to tap into this energy. So keeping an eye on the weather for this week, keeping an eye on the tropics. I'm not too concerned about the system. I think it's going to be, if it develops into a storm, the next name on the list is Brett. Is that right? And looking at the rest of the weather, though, I'm more concerned about the rains all of this week and potential for some severe weather again on Monday, and just about any other day of the week. We have that smaller chance, but still the chance there for some severe weather conditions. So keep an eye on the weather. I'll be here on my YouTube channel. Continue to watch. I'll have more information as the week progresses. So it's going to be a tough one to stay dry this week, but go ahead, stay dry. Bye.